Just ahead on CTV News tonight, Prince George's Fire Department wants to make sure you stay safe this winter. Plus, Bowie State University celebrates another class.
Stay tuned, we're mixing in the kitchen. Holiday rum ball recipe coming right up.
All that and more up next on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. It is the first day of winter and the Prince George's Fire EMS Department is reminding everyone that home blazes are more prevalent in cold weather than in any other time of the year. PGFD says that furnaces, fireplaces, and space heaters are some of the top causes of fires. Officials talked with CTV News about how the department is preparing and how residents can stay safe this winter.
Our fire department is always prepared for any emergency. We're an all hazards agency, so all of our stations are staffed and all of our equipment is prepared for the winter season, as well as we have snow plows on standby just for our facilities themselves.
We have an increase in fires this time of the year. Heating is a primary cause of that. Make sure you have things like space heaters. Space heaters are wonderful, but you need to use them with care. Make sure you have at least 3 feet of space in between them and anything that could possibly catch. Make sure you're careful with things like candles. I know they smell nice, people love them, but have them in a place where if they do get knocked over, they're going to be safe. Somewhere I recommend is like on a stovetop, on top of a baking sheet, somewhere where if they do get hit, and I know we have children, we have pets, things happen. If they do get knocked over, you're still going to be safe. You're not going to put your family's life on the line.
We'll have more with the fire department tomorrow right here on CTV News. If you plan to be out on the roads this holiday weekend, remember, don't drink and drive. That's the message from Maryland State Police. Troopers will be increasing their presence on highways beginning tomorrow and throughout the Christmas weekend. They'll be looking for impaired, distracted, and aggressive drivers. Here in Prince George's, you can expect to see more troopers around Interstate 95 and around Route 1. Prince George's police are investigating a shooting in the parking garage of Iverson Mall this morning. Officers were called to the 3700 block of Branch Avenue around 11 a.m. When police arrived, they found a man and a teen girl suffering from gunshot wounds. Police say the victims are still in the hospital. Investigators are working to determine the motive in this case. A loaded handgun was found on a Charles Herbert Flowers high school student today. The gun was discovered by a school security officer around 8:20 this morning. That student has been identified as 18-year-old Keyshawn Reeves. Reeves faces a number of charges, including having a handgun on him and having a dangerous weapon on school property. The union representing Prince George's principal says the principal at Flowers High School has been reinstated. Dr. Gorham Brown was placed on administrative leave for 2 months for reasons that remain unclear. The reinstatement comes on the heels of numerous fights at the school. On Tuesday, several videos posted to social media under the account Flowers Rampage shows students punching and kicking each other in various spats. PGCPS officials have confirmed 10 fights took place, that several students have been suspended, and that other disciplinary actions may be pending. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. After the break, we speak with the head of EDC about the county's economic outlook. That story and more next.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Good evening and welcome back. We've heard about the havoc caused from stolen Kia and Hyundai cars, all due to the lack of basic anti-theft technology. But there's also a risk of smart vehicles equipped with that technology of getting hacked or stolen. University of Maryland professor Lawrence Gordon studies the economic issues behind these cyber attacks. He says the automotive industry is rapidly becoming a target of hackers.
Automobile manufacturers have been looking at it for at least a decade. Insurance companies are now absolutely into it. You know, if you go back 20 years ago, Lloyd's of London was offering cyber insurance, but other insurance companies, for the most part, were not. Now everyone is. This is one of the fastest growing markets. The consulting firms, the accounting firms, they all realize this is a growth area. They're building up divisions within their companies. So it's a critical issue.
Gordon says smart cars aren't the only technology at risk. He says cell phones are increasingly getting hacked as well. The president and CEO of the county's Economic Development Corporation says he's optimistic about county's future. This despite a looming budget deficit of $183 million in fiscal year 2025. David Iannucci points to the county's record growth between 2011 and 2021. Prince George's created 55,000 new jobs, making it the fastest growing county in the state of Maryland. Iannucci says the region's future will include cybersecurity and quantum computing. He also says deficits will be something they will have to contend with.
The county has enjoyed some very strong economic years, and it's been reflected by a lot of state and federal assistance that benefited Prince George's County. The leaders of Prince George's County, the county executive and the county council will come together and they'll make the cuts that have to be made. We'll all have to take some trims here and there, but it shouldn't stand in the way of the type of growth that we are projecting for Prince George's County.
Iannucci says despite the deficit, the county is on a strong path to growth. He points to the new FBI headquarters, UMD's Discovery District, and work at the Goddard facility, assigns to a positive future for the county. Well, after years of studying and taking exams, a new set of college graduates walked across the stage this morning. Bowie State University held its winter commencement today. Hundreds of students decked in black caps and gowns received their degrees. Bowie State President Dr. Amita Bro knows that these graduates are ready to join the workplace.
As we continue our tradition as the oldest historically black college and university in Maryland, of sending our graduates out into the nation and around the world to contribute to workplaces and communities with their knowledge, abilities, and their bulldog spirit.
Meantime, Bowie native and CNN anchor Abby Phillips served as the commencement speaker. The county health department is warning residents about a suspected rabid fox in Lanham. The animal allegedly attacked a person on the 9900 block of Elm Street back on December 11th. The suspected fox is big and has a reddish-brown color. Some tips to prevent the exposure to rabies includes do not feed stray cats or dogs, and make sure your pet are vaccinated against rabies. Anyone who believes they may have been attacked by the rabid fox is asked to contact the county health department by calling the number right there on your screen. Don't go away. Up next, I'm headed to the CTV kitchen where we're preparing a little tasty treat. Coming up next is Simon Buggs.
What's going on, sports fans? And coming up on your Thursday sports page, the UMD football team adds some more talent to their roster for the 2024 season. That story and more coming up soon. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
We're in the CTV kitchen with Executive Director Sandra Peaches, and we're making rum balls. So thank you so very much. I can't wait. I've heard a lot of great things about rum balls. So what are the ingredients?
We have vanilla wafers, we have chopped pecans, or you can do walnuts, and we have powdered sugar with some cocoa. And the main ingredient is rum, or if you like me, if you prefer something else, you can do a little bourbon.
So what do we have to do once we have the ingredients?
Okay, if you take the pecans and put those.
All right, already chopped up.
Everything chopped.
Yes.
The vanilla wafers, you can use, crush them any kind of way you'd like, and just, you can put the cocoa and the powdered sugar in there. And we're going to get the box of vanilla wafers you could just dump in.
Dump in, wow, okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been preparing this wonderful dessert?
A few years now. And
Okay.
the main ingredient here to hold everything together is our rum.
That's it? Oh, okay, there we
and
go.
Our syrup, okay? So
What I love about this,
it's
Sandra,
simple.
you don't have to cook.
No,
You don't have to cook
no
anything.
cooking at all, and you can prep ahead of time.
Wow,
and you
it's
can
already-
prepare ahead of time and all of that. So the syrup is not cooperating today. It's going a little slow, but the main thing is just to get 3 tablespoons and to mix it well.
Okay.
So once we get everything all together, and we'll let that sit a minute while this is going in there, I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay, so can I make a sample so we grab it together?
Sure.
Okay, I've not done this before, so I'm learning. So we
Get a little bit with the syrup because we
There we
want
go.
the main thing, okay?
There's it go. All right, make the glove. Now you said that there's a good thing that you should do in regards to making this. Put it in the
That's
refrigerator,
correct.
right?
You know how crumbly that is? Are you
Yes.
seeing that now? What I've learned over the years, if you refrigerate this after the fact, it's much easier to deal with and much easier to form. So if you see the consistency here,
Yes.
this is sat overnight and it's all the flavors and everything have combined. So if you just pinch and pull
Okay.
and roll,
Roll. All right, and
your powdered sugar.
my powdered sugar. And this is not the finished product, but this is the finished product,
That's
correct?
correct. And let me show you this little trick. Just put it in your palm and do like that and drop it. You're ready.
You can get the recipe, yes, on all CTV social media outlets. It's time now to get our Thursday sports page with Simon Buggs.
Okay, everybody, we begin your Thursday sports page with some NFL news. Sam Howell has had his shares of ups and downs in his first year as the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. The University of North Carolina product certainly raises the question as far as whether or not he can be the team's franchise quarterback moving forward. But Howell says he's not worried about that and is focused on finishing the season out strong.
It really doesn't mean anything right now, and I think what matters is how I play each and every week. Obviously, you can worry all year long about what's going to happen next year, but for me, I just kind of take the approach of taking it 1 week at a time and really trying to focus in and do everything I can on a week-to-week basis to play my best football. Just because obviously there's a lot of questions about what's going to happen after this year, but I feel like if I'm playing my best football at a consistent rate, then those questions won't be there. So that's just kind of the way I look at it, and I'm just going to try to keep doing what I can to play good football and put good film on tape these last 3 games.
Washington will take the field versus the New York Jets on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Moving on to college football, the Terps will be taking the field versus Auburn in the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl in Nashville on December 30th. This is the Terps' 3rd season in a row they've qualified for a bowl game. Maryland has won their last 2 bowl games, and defensive back Bo Braid says preparation and consistency played a big part in the Terps' success.
I think preparation was definitely a big thing. I think that on defense we stayed consistent. I think that's one thing we got to do this year. We got to, defensive-wise, we can't make any mental errors like we made in some games this season. We can't make any mistakes. We got to just, make the most out of every opportunity we get. Especially last year we had a good amount we had interceptions. But of course, Ja'Cory Bennett got one at the end of the game. But Finaje Gote got one in the beginning. So we got to make the most of our opportunities in that standpoint.
Sticking with Terps football news, the team will have some new talent joining them in the fall as 21 student athletes have signed on to play in College Park during the early signing period. The 2024 class is highlighted by 5 4-star recruits: O-lineman Ryan Howerton, defensive backs Brandon Jacob and Braden Lee, receiver Mekhi White, and running back DeJuan Williams. The early signing period ends tomorrow, and the rest of the 2024 class will be announced in February. And that is your Thursday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. All right, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Looks like tonight's low around 32 degrees. Friday, sunny with highs around 46 degrees. Saturday's forecast, mostly cloudy with highs getting up to about 49 degrees. Christmas Eve, get this, partly sunny with a warm 54 degrees. All right, that wraps up CTV's News Tonight. I'm Taylor Thomas. Happy holidays. Good night.